Do me, man. Do me.
Yes, rolling.
I'm trying to think of the best grito ahorita mismo. It's all right, man. Listen, this is San Antonio Musicians Talk Show Network, and you would not believe who I have with me today. Alvaro Del Norte from PIñATA Protest. These guys have got a groove going on. 80s thrash with a contemporary twist, if you can believe that. Coming all the way from the south side, Alvaro, right?
Alvaro.
Alvaro, see. There's always things about that. You know, you may mispronounce a Spanish name. We're going to be speaking in Spanish, by the way. This is probably our first bilingual show. ¿Cómo te ha ido?
Muy bien, gracias.
That's how you doing. And he said, just fine, thanks. Anyway, y'all know that much. Alvaro, Jesus Christ, man. PIñATA Protest. You've been around since 2006. Can you imagine that?
Been around a long time. I'm one of the old schoolers now. So.
I remember seeing you back in the old day, and I was just phenomenally impressed, you know, with the way you have your audience participation, most especially. The audience participation, I mean, where you get one side doing something and the other side doing the other, and then they all start doing something together.
Yeah.
Well, I'm almost afraid of saying what they're doing together.
Well, yeah, let's not ruin the surprise, because
It's not what?
let's not ruin the surprise.
You know, I love that about this cat. He's great at marketing, you know. So listen, when did you start playing your first instrument? We were talking about that just a moment ago.
Yeah, I think I was about 16 years old. I just got into rock music and punk rock because I grew up in a very conservative family, and all my life it was just Mexican music, like Mexican mariachi, pop, norteño, all kinds of all the genres.
Sure.
And
that's
none of that-
fabulous. That's fabulous.
Yeah, for sure. But it was kind of like an unspoken rule that, you know, rock music was bad.
And not to be played.
It
Not
was
in
Satan
this,
music.
Yeah, not in this canton.
So, anyways, when I was about 16, I discovered punk rock, and I just changed my whole entire life. I fell in love with it.
Really?
And
What punk rock band?
The Ramones.
The Ramones.
Yeah.
That's raw.
Yeah.
That's raw stuff.
It's like when I first heard it was like, whoa.
Wow. It didn't touch me like that. It didn't. It took me a long while to appreciate it.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
That's different. Most people I meet that play music or at least punk rock music of some style, they always have that story. Like, man, I remember the first moment I heard punk rock, and it's always like a life-changing event. So I think you're the only one.
Well, for me, I was on the west side of Colima and Zarzamora, and I heard the Beatles, you know, I Want to Hold Your Hand and all those songs. That's what did me.
Oh, okay.
But I was already doing Conjunto Tejano with the family, like you're saying. In the circle, drinking beer, throwing down. What's that called? A pachanga?
Parranda, pachanga, yeah.
Means a big old party, man, with a lot of beer.
Yeah, always.
So when you started playing, what made you like change the Ramones into a Hispanic groove, your Hispanic culture naturally, but what was the thought process when that came up? Like, that's what I want to do. I'm just curious.
Well, yeah, like honestly, when I started playing guitar, I was playing in punk rock bands, hardcore bands, whatever was cool at the style at the time. I lived in Austin even for a bit, played in bands over there.
Yeah.
But around that time, I was kind of in my early 20s, and then I was kind of trying to find myself, I guess. You know, trying to figure out who I
I'm
was.
still trying to find myself.
I know, man. It never ends.
Where am I anyway?
Yeah. But at that time, though.
Yeah, at that time.
At that time, I think it was a big part of it was I was working at a Fiesta meat market, man.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
a carnicero, and so I worked there, and everybody at Fiesta spoke Spanish.
Yes.
I'm not the best Spanish speaker.
No,
Hablo
no.
bien, más o menos.
Yes.
Crecí hablando español con mi familia, pero
Yes.
you know, not the best. Anyways, so I was working there,
Si te
and
entiendo, meaning I do understand you, sir. And
Right
for
on.
those guys that are bilingual, you'll understand too. Cheesy words, no problem.
so working there, like they're always playing the radio station in Austin that played nothing but norteño and banda, and a little bit of tejano, right here and there.
Okay.
But anyways, I think just working there and just being away from home made me appreciate more of the culture, the music that I grew up with, which I think I really didn't appreciate it as much maybe growing up. Anyways, so I was growing tired of playing in these bands that sounded like every other band.
Sure.
And at that time too, like I kind of made a choice where like, you know what, I don't even care about trying to play music professionally or anything. I'm just gonna play music because I want to enjoy it. I want to do something fun for me.
There you go.
At the time, and something different too. And at the time, I was like, you know what if I just combine this punk rock with this newfound love of all the music I grew up listening to, norteño especially.
Well, that's the thought I wanted to hear.
Yeah, man.
That was it.
And that's how I came up with the idea of the band.
And this is the second incarnation of the band. No, you had a first member, first three members, and then they've now been replaced by much better members.
I've had more than that, man.
just
Actually, I've had more than that.
I read your bio, by the way.
Oh,
I
man.
tried.
Yeah, the
You've
band
had
has
incarnations. They come and go, no?
Yeah, that life happens.
Sure.
People-
And most of the time, the guys always want to aspire to go do something different también, no? I mean, they grow.
Yeah.
¿Verdad?
Yeah, for sure.
That happens. It never happened in my band, but, we stayed together.
Yeah. It's
kinda
hard to
like the
even
Doobie
find a
Brothers.
band that has the original members. It's,
Yeah. You are the original member.
I am, yeah.
You are PIÑATA Protest. And listen, speaking of which, a lot of you folks, I know you know piñatas. Come on. They use them at parties. Children under 3 typically hit them and candies fall out, right?
Did you say panties or candies? What'd you say?
Both. I'd like for the panties to fall out first and then the candies. Hey, but the piñata has stars, and it has to do with the 7 deadly sins, of which I never really knew. Did you know that?
No,
The
man.
piñata stands for the 7 deadly sins, a 7 spike. Now, there's 10, actually. So if a piñata has 10, this is his show, by the way, but it's envy, sloth, gluttony, greed, lust, anger, wrath, and pride. That's what the piñata stands for in its stars. 10 stars, meaning all those deadly sins. When they have 7, it's 7 deadly sins. How's that? For an investigative reporter.
Very interesting.
Is that all you have?
Kind of cool. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
freaking
talking
A.
about. Yeah, it's cool.
That's crazy, huh?
I didn't never
When
heard
you
of
think
that.
about breaking the piñata, I mean, when you thought piñata protest, what were you protesting, or is there a protest to the piñata? What's the thought process behind that name?
Yeesh. No, we love piñatas.
I do too. We
First
all
of
love
all-
them. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, why would you protest the piñata?
It
Or is it a play on words?
it is a play on words, man.
Wow,
I
you
love
see how
it too
deep?
because people
we
are like,
blew the mystery, man.
because people like they always like comment online. Why are they protesting piñatas? We love piñatas.
But you know what? That's what gets people to become interested in what in the world is piñata protest. That's why I say you're a fabulous marketer. The stuff that you come up with on your own thought process, your family history leading to that, it's just a fabulous thing, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah.
To be honest, the way that the name came about was number one, I love the way the 2 words sounded together.
Yeah.
But number
Piñata protest.
yeah, I thought it sounded catchy.
Piñata protest.
But number 2, I think it was I wanted an English word and a Spanish word to kind of reflect
Culture.
the identity
Big
of the
time.
band,
Sure.
like how we're kind of two worlds,
Speaking of the band, you've got Jose Morales on guitar and vocals presently, no?
Oh, and actually, that's a very old bio.
That's a very old bio. Well, let's
No, Regino Lopez is
let's get rid
our-
of this thing real quick.
Was that from Wikipedia?
Who?
Or our
Yes,
website?
Yes,
'Cause- okay.
yes, it's the West Side Wikipedia.
All right. No, we got Regino Lopez is our Reggie. We call him our current guitar player.
Okay, who's your bassist?
That is Richie.
Say his last name, man. Richie Brown.
Richie Brown.
Yeah,
That's his
and
stage
you,
name.
do you still have Chris on drums?
Chris Ruptive.
Ruptive.
And I told him all to be
Is that
here.
his real name?
No,
Ruptive?
that's his.
His
Yeah.
stage name?
By the way, Alvaro Del Norte is not my real name either. So
Yeah. It's Charlie. It's
I wonder
Charlie.
how much
It's Charlie
investigation
Gomez.
reporter you got, but anyways, they couldn't be here.
Well, you'll have to fingerprint him at the police station to find out who the hell he is. I don't know. No record? Good.
Nah, not that I know of.
Good.
No, they're all good boys. All of
Yeah.
them.
But you have several albums. What is your latest?
Last one released was Necio Nights. That was released, I think.
Necio Nights, by the way, means kind of like a person going stir crazy on a night. You know, you're necio, you're getting into everything. You're just trying to find something. No, what's your thought process on necio?
It's just a term that just growing up, you heard it. Stop
Yeah,
being
it's-
necio, no seas necio.
Right. Stop being necio.
Yeah, but that Necio Nights is just one of the words from one of the songs on that album, California Girl. It's the first lyric, Necio Nights among the city lights. So I just like the way that sounded too. So I thought it'd be a cool name for the album.
So there's a lot of play on words which lead to your thought process, which is just great, you know. So you have several albums, though, ¿verdad? So what would be the other two? Because I read them, but you know that's Wikipedia West Side.
Right. Can't trust that.
trust-
Anybody could go in there and just.
They've hacked my stuff. I don't know how many
Typing.
times.
Yeah, man.
I,
The other ones we got, the first one was Plethora. If you're familiar with the Three Amigos, it's a cool phrase to that. homage to
Plethora,
that.
yeah, they say something about the plethora. What is that line that they
Jefe,
say?
what's a plethora? Or I forgot it, man. But that was
Yeah,
one of those
but that's
movies.
funny.
It's one of those movies, and I like that. I chose it because if you're a brown kid, you know, growing up in the U.S., especially if you're Chicano, that movies like that had a lot of meaning behind them, like that and Born in East L.A. And the reason is because for like when you're growing up and you're in a mostly white, you know, country where all the media is mostly white, and you see finally a movie that's
Until I came along.
right. And then you finally see like something on a movie, a major film that kind of shows brown people, maybe not in a very positive light, but still
Right.
shows them. You really identify with that, and you grab onto that movie more, and you know, even though it was
Cheech
a
and
lot of
Chong.
stereotypes, yeah, Cheech and Chong, man, like stuff like that, you know, that those movies meant a lot to me as a kid, and I know a lot of, you know, brown people that grew up, you know, with a similar experience.
Most memorable silly moments. And it takes a while. I should have that little thing that goes dun 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 dun. So be thinking of something that has happened either out on the dance floor or maybe while you were loading up, unloading. You know, those are the funny things that happen. People don't see it, right?
Yeah.
If you could come up with maybe two of those, man.
Man.
You know, I'll go first so you have a moment to think about it.
Right.
I was playing with Mickey Gilley's band, and we were doing the Cotton Eye Joe. And the fiddle player, I actually have a photo, he was breaking the strands on his fiddle. You know, he was playing so fast. And he was telling me, faster, faster. And I was saying, I'm the timekeeper, I'm the drummer. I'm saying, no, it's slower, faster, faster. He's the leader. I kept up. We were going faster. People started falling on the dance floor. First one couple, then another couple on top of them, and then another couple. There was about 5 people, 15 people on the floor rolling around laughing, still doing the Cotton Eye Joe at Mickey Gilley's place while I'm on stage there the night Fats Domino was playing. That's my claim to fame, and that's where my history stops. And then I started this show.
Nice.
Well, I thought we'd talk about it,
Yeah.
So, can you imagine a bunch of people just falling over each other and enjoying it? That's the most memorable, silly moment. That's one of them. Have you come up with one yet? I'll come up with another one if you need more time. But I know you have one.
There's been a lot of silly moments in the band, but oh man, I'm trying to remember. Like, what can I say online?
Everything.
What?
We're going to edit you anyway. No. This show is roughly, and I say that. Anyway, it is raw talk, and I just want it to come out the way it comes out.
Right on.
Anybody try to fool you into thinking this is the way it should have sounded? No.
I think we run into this issue a lot, and it's just due like us being from San Antonio and being brown and playing Tex-Mex.
There's a lot of brownness in you, man.
Yeah, for sure. But we somehow end up getting shows where
a lot of white folks show up. No?
Yeah, and they they mean well, whatever, but they just don't understand our culture, and sometimes they do things that are a little bit upsetting. But it's like, for example,
he's deranged.
Like for example, like I was a silly moment. We were somewhere in Wisconsin. I don't know what the hell. But
Okay.
we played this show.
Wisconsin, not a real good place to be.
We played this show, and it was like the promoter's birthday too.
Oh, okay. Well,
The dude
that
was
the
a big
best
fan
thing.
of ours, and we're setting up on stage. We're about to get ready, and dude brings out a little coffee table kind of thing, little table, puts it in the center, puts chips, puts salsa, and puts a bunch of stuff to make yourself these shredded cheese type of tacos, man. Tortillas are all cold.
So he sets up a little deli. He
Right,
sets up a deli.
I don't know what the dude is imagining. Like, we're going to play, and people are just going to come up and eat, make their own little tacos and chips and salsa and...
In front of the stage?
Yeah, right on the dance floor, right there. And it was like...
Oh, my God.
And then, worst of all, he comes up, and he's like, "Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to present to you PIÑATA Party." I mean, my band are just like looking at each other like, I guess we're PIñATA Party tonight. Okay.
Oh, that had to last about 4 or 5 hours.
That was fun.
I
mean, it was cool. The guy meant well, and he really was a fan. And, we
shout out to the fans.
played the show, and it was a great time. But so we run into that. We do have other moments like, where I think our culture kind of like sets us apart. Like we used to, when the band started, we used to do a lot of tours with the Reverend Horn Heat. Do you know him? Reverend Horn Heat?
Yeah, Horn Heat.
Yeah, we used
Sure,
to tour a
shout out
lot
to
with
Reverend.
him and his
I hadn't seen him
his
in a while.
crowd. Yeah, we played with him recently actually.
Good.
His crowd is mostly let's say 40 and up, kind of white audience, more in the rockabilly kind. And
They think I'm Ocampo. They think I'm Irish. Puro pinche mexicano.
nice. Yeah.
But anyway, we're talking about
Yeah, we
Reverend
come in all
Horton Heat.
colors, man. All flavors. Yeah, we're in. I think I want to say somewhere in Colorado. Anyways, we were direct support for this tour, and right after we played, this dude, drunk as hell, total white dude. He comes up to us. We're at.
I was there once.
We're at the merch table there. He comes up to us and he just like, he's in shock. He's like, "Oh my God, I've never knew that Mexicans could play like that. Like, I didn't know y'all could play electric guitar and drums."
The electric groove.
Yeah. So, anyways, but what happened? A real cool thing happened later that evening is another guy, not so drunk, came up and he invited us to this bar that was next door to the venue. He's like, "Hey man, come on over to this bar next door. It's really cool. Have a drink with us." And I'm like, "Sure," and we did. So we packed up our stuff after the show, and we were walking into the doors, and everybody in there is white. Everybody's there from the show too. Everybody's in there of the show, and we walk in, 4 brown boys. You know,
That
and it's
already
like
sounds
it's
funny.
like
I'm
it's
sorry.
like that moment, you know, where, with the music, he stops, you know,
Yeah.
and you know, I kind of freaked out internally. I was like, oh man, we shouldn't have come here. Everybody like looks and stares at us, and then everybody pauses and they stand up and they give us a standing ovation.
No.
And we walk
shit.
in, and we're like, okay, relieved. And we're walking in, and as we're walking in, like, you know, somebody grabs somebody and it's like, hey, have a drink with me. And then somebody grabs the other member, hey, have a drink with me. I'll buy you drinks the rest of the night. So we ended up having a great time, just kind of chatting, you know, with people that were there from the show. And they would tell us things like, you know, like here in this city, like, you know, we don't really intermingle with like Mexican people, and it's nice to talk to y'all, you know what I'm saying?
De seguro.
You know, so it was cool, like, you know, this kind of cultural exchange moment, and they're very interested in who we were and how, you know, the music came about, the accordion mostly, you know. So it was cool, you know, we got to share a little bit more of ourselves, you know, on a personal basis, you know, after the show. And we had that happen like 3 times on tour, you know.
Wow. So it's really what you're describing as a culture shock.
Yeah, for a lot of them, yeah, because they really don't have too much chance to interact with Mexicanos of any sort too
Right.
much.
And then
I don't
your
know.
speech, you wouldn't think if they, you know, if they couldn't see you, you wouldn't know that he was Hispanic, because he's got that nice tone of voice that, you know, can gravitate. Like for me, I come from the West Side. I'm on the North Side. I'm feeling the culture shock.
Dude. Yeah.
There isn't a Mexican restaurant around here for miles. No, there's a couple.
Yeah,
But it's not like
man.
on the West Side where you have, you know, pizza, tacos, raspas. So that comes to your door, man. La ching
Right
ching,
on,
la
dude.
ding ding.
Dude,
The-
yeah,
what is
yeah.
it? The guy with the
Yeah,
bicycle that goes
right.
around ding ding ding. You wait for him at about 12 noon for one of those cold lollipops, you know.
Dude, yeah.
That was the day, no?
They do. They're
Raspas.
still around. They're still around.
They're still around, huh?
They're still around.
Only on the West Side. You won't see them over here.
Yeah.
You know, that gives me an idea. Maybe I should start a business like that.
Paletas?
Yeah, I'll probably get run over.
Dude, I actually, there was a summer where, like, I admire, like, my culture, and I love, like, you know, the hard work ethic that we have. And
Really?
I also like making, yeah, and I also like
Not
making
me.
people smile. I like making people
Sorry.
smile, right? And I was like, you know, what can I do that makes people smile and also a great chance to exercise? Oh, I know. I'll become a paletero.
See, he's got the same freaking idea. We're
Yeah,
Mexicans.
so
we
I
are
went-
Mexicans, man.
I went
This
to
is
the
it.
paleta place.
Yeah.
Right. And I was
And they
like,
overcharged you.
no. I went there and I said, hey, I want a job as a paletero. And he kind of looked at me because, like, you know, like you're first of all, you're nobody like under 30 wants to be a paletero, you know.
They're usually older guys.
And I'm
They
like, well,
are.
how much money did they make? And I was asking all these questions.
25 cents an hour.
And it was like, man, it is hard work. They don't make a lot of money.
No.
And he's like, and you know what, man? One of our paleteros who's been doing this for like 10 years, he just died of skin cancer, man. Like,
Oh, my God. Radon.
Because, yeah, he's like in the sun all day. And
Oh, my
he
gosh.
got skin cancer. So that was like my, like, oh, maybe
That's
I should.
scary, man.
I shouldn't do this. But we got, I don't know, got a cool photo shoot out of it. No.
Yeah. You know, what's your favorite paleta, by the way? Just curious. Mine are the pineapple. I love the pineapple.
Pineapple. Man.
And strawberry paletas también.
Strawberry for me.
Strawberry? Cool. Next time. Which leads into next time. You know, a shout out to the people of whom you love the most. You have the rare opportunity to say hello to anyone you would like to. And who might that be?
Anybody?
Anybody and everybody.
Oh, then I would just shout out to everybody then. What's up,
This guy's
everybody?
slick, man.
Todos.
Todos
Everybody.
mis amigos. Oh
Everybody
man,
here.
my one of my cameras just went out, but I think we're actually taking care of that. That's a backup thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Somebody stepped on it over at a club I was playing at.
Yeesh.
Yeah, $350 camera. Messed that groove up.
Yeah.
So the shout out. We're at the show. You're still on.
Oh, yeah. Shout
Yeah,
out
we're on,
everybody.
baby.
Everybody. Especially you.
Piñata party! I mean protest. That was his most memorable silly moment. So you have to rewind the show in order to hear that. It was really a funny time, funny moment. Both of us did. And so your shout out, you're saying to everybody, but your band members, what about your recording guys, the guys that record you? You have two different facilities, no?
Well, right
Or is
right now we're at what's it called? It's at the Corn Pound, which is a really cool spot, man. It's kind of like a all-in-one facility. If you're a band and you want to record, you want to rehearse, they have a record shop there, a vintage store.
What the heck is it called, man? Where the heck have I been?
It's called the Corn Pound.
The Corn Pound.
The Corn Pound.
Man, I'm used to Studio M, and that's the one on the north side. You'll know about the Michael Morales. We talked about that. Marius Perron, good friend of mine. We started off in music together back in the 60s.
Nice.
So we've been doing it for a long, long time. But Marius is a genius. I just happen to have one of his fledgling engineers engineering this show.
Cool.
Yeah. Hey, Phil. Have you been able to switch camera sites? Yes. Cool. I'm sorry. That's the way this show is, man. How many times do you ever hear the interviewer talk to his cameraman on show?
It happens. It's, it happens.
They usually go like, "What's that?"
At least you're not shouting, "Hey, no!"
I did earlier. So I guess my shout outs would have to be to Roy Perez, who was on the show yesterday. Oh, by the way, he told me to tell you hi. Roy Perez from the Unknown Soldiers off
awesome.
Brazos Street.
Yeah.
He told me to tell you
Awesome,
hi.
man.
He said, make sure you tell him.
Cool.
I said, I will.
What's up?
It was his birthday party last night at Wetmore. And I went to go jam. And this is a most memorable, silly moment. I mean, most memorable. He didn't let me. I was supposed to play, but they ran out of time.
Oh, no.
Isn't that terrible
Yeah.
when that happens? And he said, oh, man, come on, give me a break. I said, it's okay. I got a lot of bands I can play with. That's no problem. But I really wanted to play tonight, man. I was really making him feel bad.
Yeah, it's like total blue balling, man. Like, seriously.
It's a sad
Seriously.
moment, no?
Yeah.
And I told several people, hey, I'm gonna be up there in just a moment. Be up there. Cállate, way. I don't know. What is the way anyway in Spanish? Cállate, way. I don't think we can say it.
Dude.
Oh, it is, right?
Way,
Just a dude?
yeah, just dude.
It's
Yeah.
just a dude. But, like words in Spanish sound hideous, like the word pendejo. People get stabbed on the west side for calling somebody, órale, pendejo. All it means is stupid. If a white person called another white person stupid, they would just say, hey, you too.
Wow.
But I mean, why? Stop killing each other over silly words. Just keep going your own way. No?
Right on, yeah.
Yeah, keep the peace, keep the love. If there was one thought that you want to leave your, let's say, and Phil, go ahead and cue that music for me. If there was one thought that you would want to tell your friends, what would it be?
My friends?
Well, everybody that
My
you love.
homies?
Your homies, yeah, blood.
Where's my money? You,
Pay me first.
several of y'all owe me some money. What's up? I'm going to come collect soon if you don't.
Thank you very much, man. I like that. I usually say, pay me first. I won't do it unless you pay me first. But hey, sooner or later we will. But for me, as this fledgling talk show host, I'm a musician first, but we're entertainers. So everybody's got this capability. I just came up with the idea, no?
Right on. Yeah.
Not too shabby of an idea, no?
I like it. Yeah, it's real cozy too.
Thank you.
We're not, believe it or not, this is not $1 million studio.
No, it's not. It's about $2 million studio. Well, in my money, in my peso count, my peso count is very low, but it built up to quite a bit. I mean, it doesn't look like much, but yeah, there's a lot of money involved, and I'm still spending. So, my shout out would be to Phil, Antoine, who's mixing the show today. And he's got Piñata Protest playing right now in the background. And, I'm just so happy to have a younger guy that is being exposed. He's an engineer, but he's experiencing the audiovisual end of the thing too. So he's just going to be a monster when he's done.
Yeah, right on. Right on, man.
So, Phil, I love you, man. And to my family, naturally, all the guys that have been on the show, Augie Myers, Claude Butch Morgan, we've talked about him almost endlessly. Laura Young's birthday, happy birthday. Laura Young's birthday was just yesterday. Same day as Roy Perez at Wetmore, so we celebrated that too. Shout out to Laura Young's, my gal, pal. And the one thing I want to leave you guys with is go out and go do something good for somebody today, because we're out to change the world one day at a time, no?
Right on, man. Every day is a gift, yeah.
A gift.
It really, really is,
So, I mean, when you see somebody and, they're panhandling, you don't have to give them $1, but, if you got 35 cents, just go ahead with it, no?
Yeah.
Do something good for somebody.
Yeah.
And this way we can change the world internally. Because so many people are just thinking of themselves, as opposed to everyone. But in the barrio, they all take care of themselves, no? On the north side, same thing. South side, I don't know. You tell me.
Man.
No comment.
South side's cool.
It is, man.
I like it. And
it's cooler than
I like where I live, man. I live kind of close to downtown, and
you can catch the bus anywhere, no?
Yeah. And there's still, my neighbor invites mariachis to play at a party. There's, paleteros that go down my street. There's taquerias everywhere.
That's what I was talking about.
There's still all the culture there. And
so if you wonder why we're all fat, not him. I'm a little wide load.
But I love it, man. I love it, and I hope that never changes. And this city's changing so much, and I hope it doesn't lose its identity and what makes it special, really. Because I've been fortunate to be able to travel a lot. A lot. I've done so many tours.
I've never been to France and/or Germany, but I have been to Mexico.
You should go. But the one thing in
Liz Salazar, shout out to Liz, my gal, pal, Liz Salazar. Yeah.
The one thing in my experience, man, is that like every time I leave and come back, is that I love San Antonio even more, because you realize how special we are, and
we are.
What even the history, which is not always pretty, not a very pretty history, but it is
toxic.
It is what it is, and and we are who we are because of that history partly, but we have a lot of rich culture, and I love this city. And
well, I do too. There are some things that need to be straightened out, but that's I'm also a civil rights activist with LULAC. One of the guys, I don't even know if I should say his name, Henry Rodriguez from LULAC. We were having lunch meeting, and your Piñata Protest came up, and I said, wait, I heard of those guys. He said, you should have them on. And I said, oh, I know who they are. I'm going to have them on. That's when I called you 2 months ago, and we scheduled.
Right on.
It's so wonderful. So God bless you guys. Thank you for hanging out with us today. This is, once again, San Antonio Musicians Talk Show Network. We're going on like show 2000, but we lost a whole bunch of them through the airwaves, so we're live going worldwide. Now we have Phil Antoine to do that job. So any last thoughts? Callejero?
Callejero?
El grupo de what? The Callejeros on your page. Is that a different band? This will never end.
Oh, nah, man, that's our side band. That's our.
I thought so.
Yeah, that's when Piñata's not touring and we're just at home, kind of just working on songwriting. We just play on the weekends. We also play house party. I actually have a house party I'm going to play later tonight.
What's the name of the band? I mean, that band, the Callejeros.
Los Callejeros.
El grupo de Callejeros, or what's it called?
Yeah, Los Callejeros de San Anto.
Los Callejeros de San Anto,
Yeah.
meaning the guys that roam the street of San Antonio.
Yeah, I got that name because my mom used to call me a callejero. When I
wonder
was
why.
Younger.
Sure.
And I thought that'd be a cool name. And yeah, that's what we do. And we just play cover songs of like classic norteño and conjunto tejano, cumbias, mariachi stuff. You know,
I saw some dancers out there. It was nothing like your concert. It's all good groove. The other groove. Groove.
No, and I love that. I think, you know, I love the songs that we play, these old songs. I love them. I love performing at people's special moments in their lives. Like, you know, someone's having a birthday, like today we're playing this birthday party. The guy's turning 76, right? So his kids got him. He hired us to go play it, and for me, that's everything. You know, that's like, it means so much. We play funerals too, you know, and that's the biggest honor in the world, you know.
Sure.
And
sure.
we, you know, I love playing music, and I love being able to do both sides. I love being original and creative and crazy and you know, getting wild.
Oh, you do
know.
something with your hat too that's really trippy, man. Take that hat off and spin it around.
Spin it.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry I
like-
didn't wear one, man. I'm sorry. I was.
No, he flips his
doing-
hat like cray and catches it and puts it right back on. It's just a trippy thing. You got to see it.
Sometimes I mess up though. If there's a wind, if there's a wind, it happens too. If I flip it up,
It'll take
and the
it.
wind comes in, it's
Over
goes
there.
over there.
Oh, well. A most memorable silly moment, huh?
A lot of silly moments. Nothing but silly moments, man.
Yeah, man. But anyway, it's been a pleasure to have you on. You know that the attention span of people is 30 minutes? Did you know that?
Oh, I think we're
We blew this show.
dang.
No, we went an hour and 6 minutes with Bill Casey and Mike Pinto and Alan Bush, you know, 3 great players in the city, all white people. I felt very outnumbered. Yeah, because I was the only Mexican in the room.
All in one.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
And they all play together. I'm the only outsider. But I get to jam with everybody I play with, everybody I have on the show. So tell, what's your drummer's name?
Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
Ripped it.
Chris, I just want 1 or 2 songs, man. Okay? That's how we roll on this show, man. Anyway,
It's easy. It's just a polka beat.
that's it.
It's a polka beat, but a little bit faster. Oompa, 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 oompa,
Right.
oompa, oompa.
That punk rock stuff, man. I
That's it.
love it. I love
That's
it.
it.
That's so solid. He's a great drummer, too.
No, he's
Great drummer.
solid.
I love
Yeah,
the way he
he's-
performed. Hey, Phil, is that song still going on? Yeah, do it. This way we can end this show before we lose attention span. I don't know how true that is, but that's what they say. That when you're doing a show like this, 30 minutes, everybody's gone.
Yeah.
I don't buy into it. I don't know, man.
I do like, I go on like Instagram or TikTok or Facebook Live and I
Yeah.
stream the shows, like
Sure.
our live shows,
Sure.
like our performances.
Are you listening, Phil?
And it's like 0 people watching.
Maybe you shouldn't on air. 0.
So I don't know what you're talking about, man. I get 0 people, so
Oh, heck.
at least you get people to watch 30 minutes. I get
Amen.
0.
Amen. Once again, hey, how do you pronounce your name? Alvaro?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Got it right this
Alvaro.
time. Alvaro Del Norte. And that's not his real name. His real name is Chris Jones.
That's right.
He's a white man. He just got a good tan. He's a white guy. But you did study at UT. You were outnumbered there too, I'm sure.
UTSA. Yeah.
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 This show is never going to end.
That's fine. Okay. I got time. Don't got a gig until, well.
You got to load up. Is it all loaded up?
Honestly, okay, so this is what we do. The kind of gig that
Third
we have.
outro.
the kind of gig that we do, it's super like mariachi style. It's called fara fara.
Fara fara.
Fara fara. So it's basically like a norteño version of a mariachi group. So I play accordion. We have bajo sexto, tuba,
I saw that.
and then just instead of a whole drum set, just a snare drum.
And the bass?
No bass.
No way.
With the tuba, it takes the bass part.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So yeah, it's us four, and it's mostly acoustic. We have a little tiny amp that's battery powered.
That's like the Stray Cats, only the Mexican version.
Yeah, man.
With the tuba.
And that's how we do
Instead of a
these
stand-up
parties.
bass.
That's how we do it.
That's how you do the parties, huh?
Yeah.
That's really interesting, man. I bet
Yeah.
that sounds great.
It's okay. I've had
crazy.
I had this lady call me yesterday, this last night, and she wanted us to go play at this party in Lotes, and she was like, I had to be upfront with her. She's like, hey, I'm calling for a mariachi band. And I had to be straight up with her, like, okay, ma'am. First of all,
Mariachi.
let me explain the differences, because we're not a mariachi. I don't want us to show up with a tuba and accordion, and they're like, what is this? What is this crazy Mexicans?
Yeah.
And because there's differences, like,
Well, sure.
yeah,
We're the only ones that
I love
know it.
mariachi, of course. I love trios. I love son jarocho. I love all these styles, but they're different.
They are.
They do play a lot of the same songs.
But they're different setup.
Yeah. So,
Different
depending what you want.
instrumentation.
Yeah. So, because we've had it happen where we show up and they're asking for I don't know, Amor Eterno, which we do play.
That's
all
eternal
these
love, by the way. Amor.
all these boleros, all these slow songs that sound great with mariachi. They sound okay with conjunto style, but a lot of times too we don't even know the songs. Like we know Tigres del Norte, we know Ramon Ayala.
Sure.
We know cumbias, Anicito Molina.
Right.
We know
All
we
the
know that.
faves, all the faves.
Tex Tornadoes, man. We know almost every song.
Sure.
Freddie Fender, we could do that. We do country,
Fender.
but if you want like all these hardcore boleros, Sabor a Mi,
Mm-hmm. No. Yeah, that's a little too far.
Malagueña, like we do. Sorry, like we don't.
Go get the other band.
Yeah, get yourself a nice mariachi.
Sure.
They're great. We love them. I have recommendations if you
Absolutely.
want. But if you want to party, you want to do cumbias and norteño, Tigres del Norte,
Throw down with
Hit
Piñata
us up.
Protest, baby.
hit us up.
Alvaro Del Norte, I'm at Ocampo Sr. Again, go out and go do something good for somebody today, because we really do want to change the world one day at a time. Right, Phil? My engineer. Okay, say bye-bye. Ta-ta.